Hey gang, morning. Hey listen, I hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend with your family. You know, time to honor the troops. I'll admit, actually, looking around and seeing how vacant everything was on Memorial Day here on the Bearskin Neck, kind of a solemn moment. First time I've actually cried on Memorial Day, thinking about all those sacrifices, and it was a beautiful day for me. So anyways, hey, the other day I showed you this piece of wood, and remember, check out my YouTube video with Dave D'Antonio, 5-minute video. He's a folk artist up here who makes stuff out of upcycle. I really appreciate his letting me come and hang out with him for a little bit. We just went up to talk, be friends, and then I said, hey man, let me film you because his work is kind of cool. So hey, I found these sticks when I went walking in the woods, and when I was holding them together, looked like a fish. So I did a peg and dowel there, and I pegged and doweled it right there. And what's kind of cool, one thing I love about this wood, I might have said this earlier, so funny, little kids, you know, all the bug stuff. When we were little kids, we lived kind of out near the woods and stuff in the woods. A small little town in Connecticut, and I was like a little, first grade, third grade. We would go out in the woods up to the cow fields, and we would find little pieces of sticks, and we'd peel the bark back. And at that time, we didn't know what the little lines were, you know, from bugs. And either my dad planted this in our little head, or we just thought it up ourselves. We would thought it was sort of like little secret Indian writing or secret map that showed where things were or something. So we always thought it was so magical that the Indians could write under the bark and keep secret messages. So it was either a story my dad wove for us. But anyways, a beautiful little story to think about when you're a little kid. And now what I'm also thinking about doing with this, right, is I was going to think about draping it, going to the beach, getting some seaweed. This may or may not work, I'm not too sure. And then drape it kind of like this, so it would act as, you know, almost like do layers, so it'd almost be like scales of a fish that could run. Depending on how it looks, I'm going to try that out. You might even see me down on the beach with this, talking about it. But then I was looking at it, it might make a neat windsock type thing, or even, you know, a mobile. So yesterday I was playing around, well, I won't use the pencil, I don't want to mark up the wood. And I want to find the center of gravity. And I think it'd make a kind of a cool windmill, you know. And I was thinking, okay, so for longevity, these are what's so neat about art projects, that you just sort of don't know really what you're doing, is I'm thinking, okay, so if I'm going to do this pivot, I have to think about what, you know, longevity, you know what I mean? I don't want it to break. So I kind of thought it'd be neat. I could drill a hole in there, have some little brass shells from a 22 cartridge shell that I use for what's called a nail gun. You shoot nails into concrete, and it actually uses a kind of like a little blasting cap. And I have some of those, so I could hollow one of those out and drill a hole and sink it in there. So a nice piece of brass, right? And then I'll get a nice rod of sorts. That's just a piece of metal. And then that could go inside the brass. And then, and even on the end of the stick, I could put another brass, you know, end, almost like the tip of an arrow or something. And then I'd have a really nice, strong, stable, non-rotting housing, I guess would be a good word for it. So anyways, isn't that kind of neat? Let's see if we can do that again. Right, I say these videos are only going to be a minute long, but oh, and then the other thing, hey, you know, again, this is the kind of stuff we used to do before cell phones when we were little kids. Generations, centuries of kids, and people made staffs. So I was out again, walking in the woods, getting good air, you know, just sort of getting my little meditations out, walking around on the beaches, and I found this beautiful stick, and I believe it's a silver birch. I could be wrong about that, but I think it is. Look at the brown there. That's sort of a pulpy piece between the white silver bark and the hardwood inside. So I'm kind of making a nice walking staff. I decided this is a good place for the hand. Boom. You know? And then I found this a while back. Another nice piece. That was when I was walking in the woods. Some kids looks like it had some burn marks on it, so it was kind of near fire. So hey, check that out. I noticed this has this cool little shape, naturally shape inside here. So I just went like that. Boom. Look at that. It's like it's meant to be. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that like some sort of cool power walking stick? Imagine getting really, really courageous and painting the stick too. I don't know if I'm that courageous. I have a beautiful didgeridoo from Australia. That's really gorgeous with some almost like a pointillism technique that the tribals, Aboriginals used. Probably where Surratt stole all his ideas. So anyways, that's going to be a walking stick. And I got another one over here that was a beautiful size, beautiful tall one. Maasai warrior. And then this, I was thinking of making a shield out of it. This was another neat piece of wood I found out in the woods. I carried it. It's just, look at that. Look at that. And look at that perfect little curve. Because this was like, this wasn't the bark. This was like an inner ring of the tree that started rotting. Like the most outer ring before the, after the bark. And it peeled off, so it's got that nice shape on it. So I thought this would, I might actually get bold and shape this up nicey nice with my rasps and make a shield out of it. Or even just some, I don't know, primitive skateboard. I don't know. We'll paint on it. We'll do something with it. So anyways, hey, I got to get back. I got to jump on the emails and send some of this stuff out. So, hey, love you guys, gals. See you soon. Remember, when the weather breaks, come on up to Rockport. We actually now can have visitors that aren't local come up to Bears Connect. So please, you're always welcome to come on up, bring your family, and stop in. And I don't have the store open, but I do have a rope across it. So, you know, I can talk to people and stuff without, you know, all the protocols that I've put in order for people's safety. So, you know, here I am. If I'm not here in 1 hour, I'll be here in another hour. I'm usually up and down running around. Okay, love you guys.